This is where the fun begins.
I have fought the worst of all wars and witnessed the redemption of evil. I have seen balance restored to the Force. But order can turn to chaos, as it did when I was born. Now, with my loved ones and my loyal allies, I face a new challenge unlike any before. And I'm not sure at this time we can win.
Star Wars Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore, the first novel of the new Jedi Order.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday morning coffee chat on my channel, OG Sours. And I am so happy and thankful to be with you guys this morning as well. And yeah, so here I am, and I hope all is well. And what is in your mug this morning? I have some interesting topics to discuss with you. And one from Screen Rat, where it says, "Is Vader overrated?" And it's kind of a weird topic. Of course, it's Screen Rat, but I thought it was going to be fun and cheesy to go through. And then what else do I have? Oh yeah, let's see here. And then I have the poll up. So if you haven't had a chance to vote on your favorite species, go ahead and do that. And they are, and so far I'll tell you what's going on with that one here. Let's see here. All right, it needs to open for me. Come on, I just want to see the poll. Open for me. Don't you love it when technology just doesn't want to work for you? There we go. Okay, so Pauline basically is tied with Marilyn for 30%. Duros is at 10. Oh, and Nogri's tied for 30%. So basically, there is most of you guys, all of you guys almost split between those three, and Duros is at 10%. It's hard to decide who to do the polls on, especially when it's something this vast, like species. And so I had to really just think about it. And I didn't see Maryland on there. And I think if people don't know who are that species, when you look at Barris and Undali, they're Maryland. So I thought I'd put that on there. And then Nogri. So I want to do some humanoid species and some non. So I think that's a good half and half kind of mix here. And yeah, and then so let's get into here. Let me see who's in here in the chat with us. Okay, let's see here. We have Clone Geek. Welcome and thank you for joining. I hope that Jabim looks the same. I hope, you know what? If they're going to Jabim for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, that right there, the people of Jabim are basically are supposed to not like Jedi. And so if you know the lore of Jabim, you'll know what happened with Anakin Skywalker, and then again when Luke visited the planet. So I think that it's not going to be the same place, because they can't go down that line of being in a sanctuary for the rebellion and hiding Jedi when the people of Jabim don't like them. So, and even Quinlan Voss is not going to be the same Quinlan Voss. And I will stick to that, because every time they bring in a character, and this started with Filoni, every time they bring in a character, it's not the same. They're not the same. They're only in character only. So praising that's like saying, oh, I don't care if you destroy the character and change them, as long as I get to see them. I wouldn't go that route if I was you, but I mean, that's up to you. And hello, Orange Hat, another channel member here. Use the Force on the like button. Thank you. Yes, you guys, as you guys start coming in, please hit that like button and share that we're live. And then Buzzy Jones is here. And you guys, I'm using one of my favorite mugs. This is the Twin Suns Squadron, one of my favorite, and I have a t-shirt too. So if you guys don't know what happened or where this came from, little history, Luke Skywalker created the Twin Suns in the New Jedi Order. And there's a whole little like trope or a whole story behind that, including Jaina. So very fun to read and learn about. All right. And then Darmot McQuaid, hello there. And then Orange Hat says, "Oh, good poll, OG Star Wars." Yes, thank you. And then, is anyone here a Stranger Things fan? Not really. I'm not following that, but I do follow. I mean, I do hear and see people discuss that. So, sorry about that. And Chaos Man 17, hi there. And then, I feel like I have like a piece of fur on my nose here. That's crazy. All right, and I was messing with the cats earlier, so who knows? And let's see here. So Orange Hat says, out of those four, no agree, their honor and devotion is admirable. But my absolute favorite species is a known species with three of them seen over the centuries. Master Vader, Master Yoda, and Master Yaddle. There you go. There you go. I'm just glad you didn't say Baby Yoda. Thank you. Thank you for sparing us that. And then Soul Assassins here. No love for Duros in the vote. I know, right? I usually, Duros, we see them right away too. So that's why I thought, Duros, I'll put Duros on there. Let's see here. And it jumped like considerably. I have 13 beautiful souls here. And thank you so much. And let me know what's in your mug. That's one of the most important questions is what's in your mug and stuff. And let's go ahead and anyone know Natalia Dyer? Nancy from ST. Are you talking about the sequel trilogy or what? Or Stranger Things? Okay, I get it. Like I said, I can't answer that for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, darling. Sorry about that. And I just put a little bit of makeup on. I wish I should have put more on. Yeah. She would have made a perfect young new Jedi Order Jaina. So, I see what you're getting at. Okay. Did you watch the Legacy of the Force little fan film? I forget the actress's name, the one who played Jaina, but she was also amazing as well. Batsy Universe. Good morning. How you doing, Batsy? I like that name, Batsy. Awesome. Soul Assassin says, check OG shop for new merch. Yeah, in fact, I have Mystery of Rat Attack. Would you see her behind me right here? This one is for sale. This one is for sale. You could go to my yoga webpage and go to the gallery and purchase it. But my Quinlan and Yoda, they are getting ready I did send them off for prints, and I just have to update the website and put them on for order. So stay tuned for that. I just got tired. I stayed up late getting everything arranged, and I just didn't update the website. So if you get a hold of me and you have I'm doing 8x10s, 16x20s, and 6x9s, kind of like little cards. So if you guys are interested and you want one of those, just get a hold of me. I already know the price for them, and you can we can arrange something before I get it put up on the website. And let's see here. She would be around 18 to 20 when The Force Awakens was being made. Let's see here. During that time frame, how old was Jaina during that time frame? Because they were born. Okay, so when The Force Awakens was made, that was basically 35 ABY. Jaina was born 9 ABY. And so let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so who knows what that time frame, what it would be. I think should have been like 26 then at that age. So yeah. Let's see who's else here. It was my birthday yesterday. I don't know that many of the species name. Oh well, happy birthday, Zagharat. Happy birthday to you. I hope your day was awesome and you got everything that you wished for and you deserve. And it was amazing. And Bahamut, hello. I wouldn't be surprised that Reva is better than Rey Palpatine Sue. Who knows these days? I think it's just like a complex that of Disney Star Wars wanting their characters to be better than the legacy characters. That's how I see that. Let's see here. And then Moonchild, hi, N64. Hello, OG. Love the Ventress picture behind you. Yes. Thank you so much. I spent some time on that. I love it too. I loved how it turned out. I loved how it printed out. I mean, thank you so much. It's just painting and stuff is my jam. Painting and art is one of my jams. So thank you. Chaos Man says, in the Last of the Jedi series, Inquisitor Melram learned Vader's identity from the records at the temple and planned to use one day overthrown Vader before being killed by Ferris. Yeah, I remember that now. Thank you. I haven't fully moved through that series again. I only did 1 and 2 because of the Obi-Wan Kenobi story. And it feels like they're taking things, and we're going to get into this too. So I need to pull up what we are going to talk about. Deborah Chow, basically, and we'll probably just do that first. And let me go ahead and bring this up, and then we'll get into the article, and then we'll talk about the next Force Society, the followers of Palawa. Yeah, so if you guys don't know anything about the Force Society, geez. That was kind of sad. Here you're here to learn. You're here to learn about different Force societies. We always discuss Jedi versus Sith and Dark Jedi or Inquisitors or anything that deals with those two basic societies. And so I thought it was crucial in a way to go ahead and discuss the Force societies. So I'm going to bring this up here before we move on, and I'm going to see who else is popping in here. Got 14 of you guys here. So it's fluctuating, and that's okay. It's morning time. Everybody's settling in. I don't have a drink right now, but I will later have coffee. Awesome. I'm having coffee. Cheers. Cheers. Let's see here. And Zagara after the stream. Ah, nice. And then Dermot says, I'm not a big ST fan either, but I know of her, and I would have picked her for Disney if Disney had kept the EU. Yeah, well, I have to go take a look and see. I'm curious now. I am very, very curious. And ST Stranger Things, not sequel trilogy. I know, isn't that crazy? I like to say Disney trilogy more than sequel trilogy because it's not a sequel to George's movies. It's definitely not a sequel to that. That's how I see that. And Batu, hello. On the last of my coffee, may get another and save it for the gym later. Awesome. I need to get to the gym too. Let me see. Let me go ahead and bring this up because I wanted to go through this. And Chrome tab. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go, you guys. Let's see here. Is it coming up? All right. So I thought this was interesting. I'm going to go ahead and stop my cam just to help with connection and stuff. I thought this was very interesting, to say the least. And let me see. We go to the correct one. Jeez, Laura. Okay. So John Jackson Miller basically stated this on May 27th. Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow told Mashable she read my Kenobi book to get a sense of what the character was feeling during the earliest part of his exile, and that it advised the tone of the series. Very kind words here, which I greatly appreciate. So basically, Deborah Chow claims she read the Kenobi novel, but the only difference is, if you know the timeline, the Kenobi novel happens like within, like just right after right after Revenge of the Sith. And so 19 made me fly. Whew, excuse me. And so there's a reason why the tone was like that, because it was right after. With Deborah Chow taking the same tone and having it 10 years later does not make sense whatsoever. Now, she made this closer to where he just went into exile right after, like the novel has. Then it would make plenty of sense. However, Obi-Wan Kenobi was not that downtrodden in the Kenobi novel. He was not that afraid. He was not that cowardice. He was, we've seen the meditations of him. And, him talking, trying to commune with Qui-Gon Jinn. And, the fear, or like the downtrodden, like the depression that he went through, like this, trying to make sense of everything, feeling defeated about it, but then also realizing that he needs to move on as well. And so it does not make sense whatsoever for that kind of mentality, that kind of downtrodden, that kind of depression to be 10 years after. And what Kenobi book did she read? I don't know. That's the thing. He's like, she read it, and I'm very thankful for it. And we're going to scroll down and read a little bit more what he has to say. But when you compare Obi-Wan in her series versus Kenobi in the True Lore novel, it's completely different. His demeanor is completely different. So even when he is with people and stuff, he's very secretive. When he goes to Mos Espa with Annalene, he like basically he's like, I need to wear my cloak, I need to wear my hood. When he notices stormtroopers, he basically puts his hood over his head and kind of sinks down or whatever. But he's not downtrodden, he's not depressed in the sense that you see him in her series. There's a big vast difference, and the huge difference is the time frame that it falls in. It makes more sense being closer after Revenge of the Sith than it does 10 years later. And even when he has to like act as a Jedi, when he does, he's very secretive about that. So he takes the opportunity of like having the lights out and noticing people's not going to notice him when he ignites his lightsabers. There's all those instances, like when he is helping what's his name, Oren Golt, when he went to go pay or talk about paying his debt to Jabba, and how they were going to torture him. And Obi-Wan basically followed him in there, but he was very conspicuous, basically, and walked along the pillars and stuff, so no one could see him. You know, you know, with what he's doing, how he's protecting him, how he was, distracting and killing those I forgot the name of those bird-like species that they had. So let me go ahead and see what you guys have to say. And then Batu says they officially broke the lore of the OT. Now Vader can't even finish off the target. And then Mr. Dystopian, Dystopian, hello. I need to find this book. I could share the link for it for you guys in there. But the thing is, the paperback will have the Legends label. The hardcover does not, and the hardcover costs money. A Money Wilson, Kenobi felt the fear, but overcame it with the sense of duty, so he never did run. Let's see here. And then Iris, I have a little golden book, and he saves Luke from the crate dragon. Even in a kid's book, he was still kicking A, right? And then Tuscan Bob, hello, another channel member. How are you doing? Can Deborah Chow use a cameraman that doesn't shake like they're tying up hypothermia while suffering from Parkinson? I don't know. And see, he's the one who's watching it through with Raging Rhino. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I guess it's valid because he's watched it. That's kind of funny. I'm so sorry that you had to sit through that. And then A. Money Wilson says, book is Kenobi, written by John Jackson Miller, correct? And let's see here, exactly. And then fear is a path to the dark side. Also, Obi-Wan is an impatient, jittery, panic-ridden weakling. Right. And so I don't know what she got from that novel to make him how he is in that show. It's like night and day. I don't know what the hell she read or what she interpreted there. Because he even was badass and defeated the Crate. He even he looked fear into the eyes and went headstrong. Right. And even when he was like, I can't be acting like a Jedi, I can't be doing this and stuff like that, he took the opportunities, but in a way where it didn't expose him until the very last, like, I guess you could say, confrontation, which I suggest to read the book and find out what happens. No agree, but Pauline is a close second. Let me go ahead and take a look before we move on into this. Let's see here. You guys are seeing what I'm looking at right now. So Pauline is 19. Marilyn is 32. Duros is 18 and Nogri is 32. So now we have a tie there. So you guys, if you're just trickling in here, joining, go ahead and go vote for your favorite species. I only can use 4 to vote on, so I try to put in big selections from species to humanoids. Chaos Man 17, the show has too much focus on Leia instead of Luke. That if this were an EU story, Obi-Wan should be replaced by Ferris. Well, yeah, Ferris is the one that, the Last of the Jedi. I get it. I need to finish that series. I did read it a long time ago, but I need to finish that series as well. So Assassin, Tuscan Bob, and Raging Rhino are watching it, so we don't have to. You guys are awesome. Watch it. I don't care. It's like I will go watch the reviews. I will talk with you guys about it. So I mean, I would say enjoy, but it doesn't feel like you guys are enjoying it. I tried editing a short for Rhino, and the camera works. The camera work was absolutely shit. Oh my god, it's that bad. How in the hell? Okay, so her cameraman must have been different from Mandalorian when she did that episode, the episode in the Mandalorian versus this. That's kind of sad. That's really, really sad. And the ratings, I guess I hear, is going down on the show. I don't know, but that's what I hear. Jackson, hey, how you doing, Jackson? Just a reminder that Luke hasn't had a line yet, but is the one Ben will have the communication or the connection with, right? Yeah. But I mean, hey, that's Disney for you. So you guys go enjoy. Go enjoy. Tuscans are number 1. And Obi-Wan in the Kenobi novel does basically work with the Tuscans in that novel. He does. And there's a whole storyline behind that. There's a whole reason. And it does tie into A New Hope in a way to where, we kind of, there's a kind of an understanding. You don't need the book to understand that little scene, but how he scares off the Tuscans. Well, basically, they're like, you just leave him alone. We don't want to mess with this kind of wizard anymore. And I'm paraphrasing. So that was a great little part. But Miss OG Star Wars, Queen Kathleen Kennedy said there are no source material of Star Wars. Yeah, and then she said there is, so I don't know. It's only when it's convenient. Deborah Cow goes moo. No, I'm not going to tease about her. Not really, you guys. I'm not going to go there right now, especially when I only called out Disney Star Wars for setting the stage on Division and saying the fans are racist before the series came out. And in lieu of the actress Moses Ingram. And I got attacked for that a few times. Attacked for it just because saying I'm racist. Saying I'm a white supremacist racist. Okay. But yeah, so let's not go down that path, and let's not give ammo like that, because they already set the stage and all their shields are lined up to attack. So don't set yourself up like that. Don't. If you're gonna speak out against racism and stuff like what Disney Star Wars is setting up, that's fine, but don't go down that path. Let's see. Batu says, and people still call it original. It's not even original. Also, the show seems to imply that episode 3 was just a short while ago instead of 10 years. Correct. Let's see here. So am I scene by scene discussing and breakdowns? Yeah, I seen your video yesterday. A Money Wilson, Mira Lucas species from Couture is probably my favorite. I almost used him. I did. I almost used the Mira Luca. Can't even keep the star of the show steady in frame while he is talking. Wow, really? Holy shit. Wow. That's bad. So let's go ahead and there's this article here where she talks about that. Maybe, I don't know if I want to click in there. Let's see what he has to say. I did read this last night, but it's last night. So yeah, he talks about there's also an interview at the bottom of the page. Worth noting that the Kenobi novel is at root an arrival story. The mysterious stranger with the past wandering into town. Yes, it is. And so using that trope and stuff with his demeanor 10 years later doesn't make sense. And this is hearkening to the Western I was emulating. A decade in, many of the emotional issues surely remain, even if the day-to-day circumstances logically change. And that doesn't make sense. So he's sticking up for her right here, I believe. There's more about how the book was both a product of the time in which it was written and the time when its events were set in my essay on the book. So his essay on the book is right here. You know what? I will save this and we'll go over this later on, not today. I would love to. Maybe I'll do a video on his essay on the book. So stay tuned for that. This post has been a wild ride in the last 24 hours. So let me share here a few extras relating to the Kenobi novel. And so he just talks about it some more. Listen and read along with excerpts of the Star Wars Kenobi novel. So he's really selling his novel here. Legends Look Back. So there's a lot of material here. He's got a map here. So maybe I'll do a video on this. And so you guys stay tuned. I hate the new cover. It is awful. I get that they're going for a stylistic type image here. I just don't like it. I like the original. And and the Secrets of Star Wars number 188. So let's go ahead and scroll up here and look into this. And this is from Entertainment. So there you go. Oh no, this is just to listen with. Okay, so never mind. So there you go, you guys. That he is happy that she read the novel, but it doesn't make sense for her taking those tropes on how he's downtrodden, depressed, and going through some emotions fresh after Revenge of the Sith, and did it 10 years later when at the end of the novel, basically he's like, I will be fine. I need to communicate. I will be fine. And then you get into the Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, and he has to come to his senses too at the end of that and realizes he's fine. And then The Last of the Jedi, which is basically almost like just right after that, he's still downtrodden a little bit, I guess you could say, in the sense to where then he's like, Qui-Gon's not communicating with me anymore, and I'm not training. And why isn't he talking? He's getting frustrated. And because he is depressed, because he has emotions still he's clinging onto, he is weak kind of in the Force, if you want to say weak, or it's kind of like he can't access it because he's emotional still, I guess, because emotionals play a big effect in how you use the Force, whether it's dark or light, whether you can or can't, right? If you get into the lore. And finally, after hearing about a past Padawan that left the Order, listening to some spacers at a cantina, and realizing that that's, basically Siritachi's Padawan, he wants to go take action. And then that also, he also has this like instinct from the Force, or this feeling from the Force too, that that it has to do something with Luke as well, and the twins. And it eventually does. But and so finally Qui-Gon does commute with him and says, go ahead and go, Luke will be fine. And then he's like, how come we haven't been training? I'm just paraphrasing from the book. And he's like, with your emotions, you can't train and, be ready for, or, to be a Force ghost. You have to be open. You have to have a clear mind. You can't be in the mindset you are. And so he realizes that, and he's like, well, how can I do that? And he's asking questions to Qui-Gon, and he goes, you will know, you will figure it out, blah, blah, blah. And so there's a test that he has to go through in a sense. And finally he figures it out, and he goes on his mission. He figures it out. He figures out why he can't train right now, or why Qui-Gon is refusing to train him, and what's going on. And he settles his emotions. So that's within 2 years of his exile. And and finally he settles down after everything's done, and he gets his training and stuff, and he stays focused. And then later on, to like shortly after too, then he Sharad Het comes, and there's that little story there. And but basically he is within 2 years of his exile, he he goes back to hope. He goes back to settling his emotions, even though, he does. I'm pretty sure there is instances where he does think back and stuff like that. But his emotional state is more settled and more calm because he has to be for the bigger task, to train, to become a Force ghost, all of that. Qui-Gon had to set him straight, you guys. But 10 years later, where the fuck is Qui-Gon? Why isn't he setting his ass straight on this? That's another question I have. And so it doesn't make sense. So if she really read this novel, then I don't know what type of reading comprehension she has, or she just nitpicked from it and said, oh, I'm going to use his emotional state and I'm going to make it very dramatic because we're only doing 6 episodes and it's going to be a dramatic series. So I need to make him look dramatic. For the sake of the viewers and for the sake of like keeping people engaged, I guess. I don't know. And for the sake of his 2 rematches with Vader. I don't know. I'm just like trying to throw shit out there. I don't know. Let me see what you guys have to say. Let me see here. It says, I got a vote for a species, sadly the ones I don't know. Okay, yeah, so there's a few of them and we'll go over them here pretty soon. And then Tuscan Bob says, Greg says, I wouldn't know. I'm almost died trying to listen to it. I know. I love your review on that. Iris says, my husband watched it against my advisement. He didn't like how the Inquisitors were not going with chain of command. Warned him. He thought Vader would have not accepted fail so easy. No, and that's the thing. He seems to like, oh, I don't care if yeah. When you see him in the OT and even in the original lore, people wanted to work and be under his command on his ship. That was the quick way to advancement. But the thing is if you fail, you may not live through that failure. So that's the only thing. Wazza, hello, what's up? The rematch of the history in the construction sites. Oh my god. Bounding into Comics released an article saying Kenobi viewers are going down viewers are going down fast. I seen that. I think he based that upon, I didn't read the article, but I know one thing that I've seen people posting is Rotten Tomatoes. I don't trust those rating sites, but I'll check out the article. Let's see here. Who else is here? Hey, what's up? JH Jaitaman. I'm sorry if I said that wrong or if that was the correct. That was just my attempt. This is so bad. The fight scene between Vader and Obi-Wan looked like it took place behind a rock-crushing planet in the Mojave Desert. I would rather watch paint on my house dry. That was basically, it looked like near Joshua Tree area, Mojave Desert area. Because I've seen the Joshua trees out there. I know the area. I'm just like 2 hours north of that place. So yeah, it was very off for me. Like when I seen scenes, because I didn't watch it, but when I seen scenes that people post, I'm like, shit, that's California Southern Desert right there. Part of me thinks they take this road to try and give the Last Jedi Luke legitimacy. Kenobi was broken after his order fell, so Luke can too. Yeah. And then using Raging Rhino's video lore and continuity based on both Obi-Wan Kenobi fails to be Obi-Wan Kenobi and George Lucas setup like other factors already established. Let's see here. And let's see what Tuscan has to say. I said on Casual Rage that they're trying to have Kenobi act like Revenge of the Sith happened recently, but 10 years have passed so they could have 10-year-old Luke and Leia. It does not work. Yes, you are right. That's what it seems. They want to have them involved, but they want him with the same demeanor that you see him after Revenge of the Sith, basically after the Kenobi novel, or not after, during the Kenobi novel, like getting motivation, like inspiration from that. So that's what it seems like too. Good pointing out on that. Good insight. DVS Lord, greetings to all, especially the Knights of Melvin. Yeah, so Knights of Melvin, I see a few of you guys coming in here. Hello. Tuscan Bob, greeting DVS Lord. And so I wonder if he agrees with the new Kenobi show? George Lucas? I don't know. And Anakin Skywalker did not, it was stated that, or not Anakin, sorry, Hayden, did not talk with George Lucas. I guess someone asked him that in an interview, and he's like, no, I did not talk with George Lucas about returning as Vader. And so I'm like, okay, well, when you look at it and you go back and you do your research and you see their interviews regarding the last match on Mustafar and preparing and Revenge of the Sith and stuff, they know there was no other match, that it was only the Death Star and Mustafar. And they know that. So I'm just going to leave you guys to think about that on like, okay, so is he a sellout or not? What's going on here? Is he just going for the money, but still doesn't agree? But the thing is, comes in there, if he doesn't agree and he is, favors George's lore and setup, because he basically, that's where he worked at first, is under George Lucas, then why is he doing it? Why is he there if he doesn't agree? Money talks, you guys. Money talks. Money talks. Oh God, I'm like, I have a lot to go on these chats here. Disney is known for not paying the artists for their work. Yeah, I did a couple of videos about that. Disney doesn't honor canon, even their own. Yeah, true. Must have been in the Lost Kenobi chapter where he buried his lightsaber in the sand. Oh my God. And they're saying, oh, they're getting rid of the DT. No, they're not. Him burying his and Anakin sabers in the sand is also proof that they're not. It's like this weird fetish of like, let's just go ahead and bury sabers in the sand. What happened? Oh my God. Chaos Man 17, Disney thinks they can fool us by killing the Grand Inquisitor, even though we know he dies in Rebels. So either they kept track, or yeah, it is. But all the Disney bots say that he cut himself off from the Force. Yeah. So there you have it, you guys. So she was inspired by John Jackson Miller, the Kenobi novel, that basically is in George Lucas' era of Star Wars. So everything he created was pre-Disney. The time of publish was during the time of the buyout, but like all the ink hasn't dried just yet. So it was still under George, I guess you can say. We were in that gray zone of the buyout, basically. And so that's why it has a Legends label over it. And so you know how they are when they are combining original lore with their lore. They don't honor it. And I can just hear Filoni say, continuities for wimps, kind of deal. And whispering that in her ear or something. I don't know. I'm just it's weird. It's disgusting. The Kenobi book has no pictures or stick figures, so I don't know what Chow read. Clearly not the actual novel based off this dog water dumpster fire floating down a street. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down, see what you guys have to say. Let's see here. It's part of modern Hollywood paint by number writing. All protagonists have to be damaged and broken. Yeah, that's today. That's today. They can't find any kind of solution. You can't see them say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to stick to my mission. We're going to do this kind of thing," like George set up. When you watch Revenge of the Sith, and at the end, when Yoda's like, "I have training for you to do," blah blah blah. And we're going to exile to keep the order. I'm like paraphrasing here, you guys. Okay, I'm just kind of paraphrasing. Obi-Wan is hopeful. Yeah, he's still gonna feel shit because basically he raised Anakin in a sense, right? He raised him, he trained him, he knows him inside and out, right? Well, I don't know about inside, but you know what I mean. We're not gonna go about so forget what I said about inside. But anyways, yeah, so he knows him. So of course he's gonna have to settle with that. But he's also a trained Jedi. He's also a trained Jedi that's disciplined in emotions, disciplined in his art. Yeah, emotions can get the best of them, because even in the novel and even in the movie, Yoda's like, slow your roll when they're looking at the security holocron at the temple, right? And in the novel, Obi-Wan's like, man, I should just die instead of seeing this, and blah blah blah. He's like, he gets really emotional, and Yoda's like, shut the fuck up. Basically, if you want to go ahead and say Yoda cussed at him, that is where I would say he cussed at him. He's like, shut the fuck up and slow your roll and calm your shit down. Basically. And so he had to set Obi-Wan straight with that. And so yeah, there's gonna be some emotions going on, but he is one of the most disciplined and better trained Jedi, basically. And he has to learn how to deal with these emotions. Jedi do. That's part of their training. That even went into the new Jedi Order. That's part of their training. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know. It does not make sense to me when you get into all that factors of Jedi training and all that when it comes to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It's canon that Force-sensitive infants may instinctively close themselves off if it is a time of great conflicts and or disturbance. Yeah, Ben Skywalker did that as a toddler. He retracted from the Force. People have to realize you do need training for a lot of abilities and strengthen yourself in the Force and that focus and everything. And then there is the innate use of the Force, which as they grow up, that use of the Force that they did is forgotten, and that's where training comes in. So Ben Skywalker did that when he in the new Jedi Order, when he was a toddler, or like when he was a baby. And so Batu says partially remember Ben Skywalker didn't want to use the Force after what happened in Shelter. Correct. And that's what I was getting at. Vader would destroy them. And let's see, the rematch of the century looks like a bad fan production. Yeah, that was true. I don't know if you guys seen it, but that video leak that was posted and then Disney was taken down. Like if you put it on if you shared that leak of the duel, one of the duels, they quickly made took it down, had channels take it down, like copyright claim and all this other stuff. That was true. Man. And all these leaks happening are true that we've gotten and that we've seen the last, before the series became about. They were true. Let's see here. Subscribe to the Knights of Melvin. Yes, make your way over there. Why would he bury it in the middle of nowhere instead of near his stupid manlet cave? Right? It's like, And then, oh yeah, but I'm weak in the Force, but I'm going to go ahead and sense it because, Disney now has them really bonding with their crystal and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so, and the crystal is now sentient. So these crystals are sentient in the Disney lore. So he can sense it. So basically he was burying the crystal alive. He was burying a sentient thing alive. Shame on you, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you bastard. All right, let's see here. All roads lead to Disney trilogy. Yep. And then Abu Nas, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and thank you for coming in. Hey, still working, but popped in to say hi. Gonna keep the stream up so I can listen in, show love to my EU elitists as always. And thank you. And one of these days, you guys need to have me on Dark Council when you guys discuss Star Wars. Seriously. Tuscan Bob, you expect me to adhere to lore and canon? Unfair. And I'm not going to do a Filoni voice. I don't know if I can. You expect me to adhere to the lore and canon? How unfair. Dave Filoni. I don't know. I probably don't. I know Ryan Kennel can do that better than I did, so that was my attempt. I think I failed. So, do or do not. There is no. Yeah. Okay, Iris. Not following lore is for lazy writers with no creativity. They cannot color inside the lines. Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and check the poll here and see what's going on. We are 9:45 my time, so the poll will be up for another 20 minutes, I believe. So if you're coming in, vote for your favorite species. I can only use 4. And so if you follow me on Twitter, I asked throw out your favorite species so I can, get a bit of broad perspective of what I want to use. I used some that were mentioned and some that weren't. I used humanoid, and then I used full-on like species, like humanoid species and other species, so that you have a half and half. Okay, Pauline is at 28. Marilyn is at 24. Duros at 17. And Nogri is leading at 31%. So there you go. So there's that. And you've probably seen it on the screen. Let's see here. That's the male character. Modern female characters are Mary Sue's always angry. Yeah, and that's the thing. And like I said, Disney, Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm set up the stage of division by saying fans are racist and saying that they warned Moses Ingram of the racist fans. And then all of a sudden, shit goes down. So they set up the stage. I pointed that out only. I didn't really talk about Moses Ingram at all, but I pointed out what Disney, Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm was doing, and I still got attacked and said I was racist and I was a white supremacist, by several people. One to really saying that my people, Native Americans, that, talking shit about us and stuff. Really strange, but this is the stage Star Wars, Lucasfilm has set up. You cannot critique now. And it's all about fucking skin color. It's all about fucking skin color. What does that have to do with anything? Especially when it comes to acting, producing, what have you, your job. Skin color does not give you the skills. It's what you learn and what your knowledge up in your head. What you've learned, what you can do, how well you're at it, right? It's not about the skin color, has nothing to do with anything whatsoever than, just your skin color, and everybody's a wide variety of skin color. White is a skin color, brown is a skin color, copper, basically. There is copper skin color. And, everything in between, and that has nothing to do with your performance, your skills, your knowledge, anything. Not as an author, has nothing to do with that as well. Nothing whatsoever. So Disney set up this fucking stage and now people are getting it. And all their Disney shills, I'm going to say this, all their Disney shills are lined up, ready to attack. So if you're going to speak about anything, it would just be that, but beware, they'll still attack you. Just not pay attention to the actors. If you're going to talk about critiquing the show, yes, you're going to get it too. So kind of like stray away from the actors right now, but I mean, still, but if you want to really just give your insightful critique on them, just be prepared. They're going to come after you anyways, because how dare you critique someone of color, even though the color of their skin has nothing to do with their ability. So there you go. So there's my little rant, you guys. There's my little rant. And hello everyone in the chat. Hope you are all doing well. I'm still working. Yes, you're still working. And slap a ho do I Yoda to Kenobi. Right. And why when OG says shut the fuck up and calm your tits, it sounds sexy as hell, or is it just me? It's probably just you. All right. Slow your roll, calm your tits. There you go. Let's see here. And let's see here. Filoni disregards lore. It means his scenes will look cool. Yeah. And then everybody's saying hello to each other. Clone Geek. And those tuning in, vote for your favorite species as well. You guys are all amazing here joining me here. Let me see here. And then I think Disney writers confuse lightsabers with Hitachi magic wands. They're very attached to their wands. Yeah, well, you can take that elsewhere too, or, imply something, but I won't go there. Filoni still changes the Disney lore with what he did in Bad Batch. You can go every single production he's done and point shit out. You can. Let's see here. Tuscans, just because I love Ayark. Yeah, she was amazing in the book. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are chatting away with each other. And then Joseph says, wait, my comment is not entering true. I have seen YouTube vids with him, but And they need to think of Reva the same way I think of Kylo Ren. Hate the character, but not the actor. But they can't separate the character from the actor or actress or whatever. They can't, and that's a damn shame because that's the way they're coming after people who are doing um, mindful critiques that doesn't go on even an inkling to the edge of being racist and stuff, but they're still using that as a way to go after people. Just like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, the content of your character, not the color of your skin. In my opinion, if you could do the job, I don't care what you are. Correct. Yes, correct. Let's see here. And then Tusker Mom says Disney doesn't know how to do villains. They try way too hard to make them badass and they all come out cringe and laughable. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you were laughing at Vader too. As my parents are from Peru and people ask me, what is your race? I say human. What's yours? Yeah, you could say I'm human. I'm human. We're all human. We are all human with and very distinct and very different from each other, but that's the purpose. We're not all supposed to be the same. We aren't supposed to be the same. And that's what makes it beautiful. Tuscan Bob, did anyone just picture OG stars blushing? Someone owns a wand? Someone owns a wand? I want to see the wand. I want to show me your wand. I would love to see your wand. How big is that wand? Okay, I'm done. Good stream. Thank you. All right. I just don't like Reva being able to be better than Vader. That's a thing. Oh my God, that's a thing. And we're going to get into Vader right now. So let me get through these chats and this has to go into Legends, but it's still a friggin' crazy article. And I want to know what you guys think of it. I think the title is more of a bait because it doesn't imply that that's what, like, their evidence and proof doesn't match with their title. So, Bato. And off topic, but is it just me or do lightsabers spark too much? It used to be a small flash at most. They're going to start a fire with these pyrotechnics. Yeah, I think it's more or less that when you see them, it was a more of like like they didn't spark like I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, it's different. It's different from now versus then. So I know what you mean. And then Jackson says, Dave Filoni, they're Mount Tantus and more in the background, even though it's all supposed to blow at once. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the other article here. Oh, damn OG. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I went there. Hit the like button, and then here he's got the wands. I think I really entertained you guys with that. We need lightsaber emojis to spam the chat with. You know what? I will make a lightsaber emoji because there's one. So if you're a channel member, I have emojis that you can use, but I only have characters. So maybe I will do a lightsaber emoji just for that. Just for that. There's a difference between racist backlash and backlash are better put opinion based off a piss poor character. Last time I checked, skin color had nothing to do with the portrayal of the character, right? Especially in Star Wars, the human race, and I'll keep saying this, the human race wasn't all about their the subdivisions of race, like the ethnicities and stuff like that. Never was in Star Wars. Never was. It was just the humans are just the humans. That's all in Star Wars. It wasn't about the separate species and stuff. So saying, oh, we need different people, blah, blah, blah. You know, they have droids and what have you. Now we need, different human races in there. Not really. But that's how I see it. Star Wars was not about human subdivisions. It was about the human race as a whole. Yeah. And then laugh out loud. Agreed. Yeah. So there you go. Let me go ahead and take this one down and let's go ahead and open up that other article here. This, like I said, it's Screen Rant, but I thought it was fun but cringy at the same time. So we'll take a look. And then, yeah, thank you for opening it. Took you a second, didn't it? Let me see the list here. There we go. I found it. And here we go. Here we go. Let me scroll up here. Get some of this bullshit out of the way. And here we go. So Star Wars version of Galactus proves Darth Vader is very overrated. So we're going here. So we had Ingram think that her character is better than Darth Vader because he's got conflict. I think she failed to say the word conflict or whatever, and Ingram doesn't, and or because of his training, because he had the bestest training ever and she didn't, so she thinks she's better. I don't know what the hell she was trying to go with that kind of logic. But this is completely different, but still, because it's still saying Vader is overrated, I thought that I'm like, I'm gonna read this. So Star Wars had its own Galactus-like villain named Darth Nihilus. They had many Darths and many villains, not just Nihilus, who made Darth Vader look overrated thanks to his pure display of power. So does Nihilus make Darth Vader look overrated because of how powerful he was, his strength in the dark side, even though this happened like over 3,000 years ago? Where the Sith evolved from what we see with Nihilus, and the alchemy and all the rituals and stuff may have been lost during some time, or may have been hidden by the ruler two, the master, so that their apprentice couldn't really take over. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? I'm gonna go ahead and look at the chat. So and says, imagine writing an article about Star Wars and not knowing anything about stars, right? Why do you hurt yourself with these nonsensical articles? Because you failed to send me one, okay? You failed me to send me one. But I thought that this would be fun to read and laugh at it, what have you, because we need to, laugh at other shit other than what's going on and what's in front of us with Disney Star Wars. Seskenbog, he's overrated now. He was too scared of 6 foot of fire to stop Kenobi from escaping their rematch. You would think he have just walked right through that. Like, oh, you know what? I'm invincible now. Have that kind of tough demeanor. Like, you know what? I can get my shit repaired. I can walk through. It's just fire. Fire's the one that made me. I'm not afraid of it anymore kind of deal. I don't know. You would think. Not overrated, but then again, Nihilus wasn't the chosen one, the one conceived by the Force itself. If anything, he's an abomination, right? And his character, it's like he basically he fed off the Force in life and stuff like that. In short, without having to get into the full story there, I recommend to go read about him. Very interesting. He is very scary too. He's scary. He's a scary Sith. James Earl Jones sounded like classic Vader and Kenobi. Props to the sound engineers. Now, was it James Earl Jones returning, or was it voice generated? So they took the voice from A New Hope and stuff and regenerated it. So that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Because when Hayden was asked about it, he was kind of beating around the bush about it. So to me, that's why I questioned it in the past. If you haven't been following me, I questioned that Hayden's reaction when he was asked if James Earl Jones was returning to voice Darth Vader, and he kind of beat around the bush to where it's like, I can't really, it's like, who knows? I mean, I don't remember his exact quote, but he basically beat around the bush. And why hide something like that when it's expected? It's not a big surprise or reveal. It's expected for James Earl Jones to voice him because of the continuity. But then again, we know how Disney is with continuity. However, if it's voice like it's generated and they just took the voice and generated and it's not a James Earl Jones in person, then I can see why Hayden's like, well, I really can't say anything right now kind of deal. I'm beating around the bush about that. So let me know. I will look it up too, but if you can answer it now, let me know. Soul Assassin says Nihilus was a wound in the Force, correct? Because of being planet side when the mass shadow generator went off, he became a vampire in a way. Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't going to get too much into it, but he also fed off the Force, all of that. Very interesting story there. And it's like once in a lifetime thing with this kind of scenario with Darth Nihilus and stuff. So very interesting. I love Star Wars, but not in depth. I'll start writing. Got into it from the originals and prequels, mainly a movie fan. That's fine. Let's see here. It's the problem, or it's a problem with all of these franchises. It has plagued comics for forever. Every writer needs to make their character the most powerful character. Creep is real. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't got like my growing up with Star Wars. I didn't get too much like really into the comics. I am now. I'm seeing the value in that with the lore and revisiting because I get something new that's not Disney Star Wars to revisit, and it's been fun. Yeah, there are some cringy stories. There's some stories I'm like, what the hell are you thinking? There's some early stories like when Star Wars was coming out that continuity wasn't a big, huge focus, and so you had these like scenarios that were, you know, quite off the wall, but still fun to read. And then once they decided to like keep continuity and mindful about the lore and stuff is when you started seeing everything start being tied together, things being corrected and stuff like that. Clone Geek, I think it's a mix of both. Chaos Man 17, the one thing Vader would praise not just Nihilus but also Vitiate is that they prove Vader's point. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they still made James Earl Jones voice Vader after his death, a la Peter Cushing in Rogue One. That's what I'm asking about. Was his voice just generated and he didn't return to voice? That's my thing because of Hayden being very vague and beating around the bush about it. And then Jackson says, catches blaster bolt with his hand, afraid of a little fire. Right. He could have even force pulled Obi-Wan to him. Why didn't he do that? He couldn't even lift him to force choke him. It's so off. It's so weird. So weird. While in a fireproof suit. Mm-hmm. And then, if anything, Cornhorn said it best about Nihilus when talking to Exar Kun. People like Nihilus are like predators overgrazing their prey. Fire that burns till it consumes itself. Right? I remember that. Yeah. Love the continuity links when you get into the books. My ex sold all my Star Wars comics. I had Luke and Mara's wedding. I hate him so much. Oh my God, really? What the hell? I'm so sorry to hear that. Devious Lord. Yes, so much I quote canon about how fireproof Vader is. Even in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke hit him in the back with his lightsaber, sure, Vader yelled a little, but it just pissed him off. Disney. Yeah. And so he's like, I like your expression there. He's like, "Rrr." Quinlan Voss is back. Hey, Lady Toriel, another channel member. Thank you so much for coming in and joining. Quinlan Voss is back. This is so cringe, and this series is a slap in the face to the characters of Kenobi. I agree. Quinlan's not the same. Don't be fooled by that because he's mentioned doesn't mean he's going to be the same Quinlan because he's not. They took away his family, Colleen and their baby. They don't exist in there, which I'm kind of happy, but still, they basically, basically no, they're not in that. He doesn't have his family. He's not the same Quinlan Voss. And then Tuscan Greg says, or snuffed out the fire with the Force, right? Or crushed the droid that was walking through the fire to pick up, I mean, you could break that shit down and be like, why didn't he do this, this, and this? Why didn't he? When you see him in Rogue One using the Force against these people, against the fleeing, officers trying to get the disc to Tantive, right? And how he force pushed one up in the ceiling and stuck his saber through him and all of that. But then I also question, why didn't he force grab the one that's running with the disc? That, why he didn't do that? Because they can't kill that. The disc has to make it to the ship. Even though that scenario with the disc going to the ship breaks continuity to the OT because everything was the plans were beamed to them or electronically sent to them It wasn't sent to them by disc. So there's that thing too. Yeah, like you're on a roll, Greg. I get it. Yeah, you're on a roll. You can sit and shade. You can sit and like being like, how about this and how about this? Why didn't they do this and this and this? Buzzy Jones. I don't know if Vader is going to talk anymore in the show. All right, so let's go ahead and get past this one here. This article. Make sure I'm on the right one. Okay, so here we go. I did use part of this for my thumbnail. And so Liam McGuire is the one that did this, and he published that 7 hours ago. All right, so are you guys ready for this? So I was going to just read certain parts in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it all, and then we'll talk about the Force Society at the end here. Okay, so and my coffee's so yummy. I hope you guys are enjoying beverage, your own choice of beverage or coffee as we go through this. This is coffee chat. It's about 10 a.m. here. Oh, let me go ahead and close out the poll. So if you're just tuning in, 5 more minutes, vote for your favorite species, and I'm going to close out the poll. Yeah, so if you're enjoying your beverage, like I said, it's coffee chat 9 a.m. here. That's why it's called coffee chat. Yeah, or now it's 10. But yeah, so I'm enjoying my coffee here. Very good. All right, so now the alternate timeline of Star Wars fucking Legends stories. Once it's true canon. Stories once featured its own Galactus-like entity as Darth Nihilus. Became one of the most destructive forces in the universe, making Darth Vader look overrated. I would say that it didn't make Darth Vader overrated. If you know the story between the two, in a sense, with what Nihilus went through, I would say almost underrated maybe, or different, but not overrated. In the process. In Star Wars Tales 24, Darth Nihilus attacked a world filled with Force-sensitive beings, as he was able to use his dark side power to drain the Force from both living things and the planet itself. As a result, he took down the world as a whole and its people in one swift action, much like Galactus of the Marvel Comics devours planets to feed his insatiable hunger. Darth Nihilus is one of the most powerful Sith Lords in the Star Wars galaxy, first appearing in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Sith Lords video game. And I forgot to put 2 or say 2, but you guys get it. Darth Nihilus is an entity consumed by darkness, as his form changed from human to almost wraith-like after he survived the mass shadow generator activation on his home planet, Malachor 5. During the tail end of the Mandalorian War. So this Mandalorian War is way back when. It has nothing to do with Disney's Mandalorian War that takes place during the Clone Wars. Darth Nihilus' hunger for the Force led him to become a Sith Lord, where he once showed how incredible his powers are, making Darth Vader look tame in comparison. All right, so he goes overrated to tame here, so I kind of get what he's going for right here. In Unseen, Unheard, from Star Wars Tales 24 by Chris Avallone and Dustin Weaver, Michael Heiser from Dark Horse Comics, which is now part. No, well, we're not going to say it, which is canon, basically. Darth Nihilus's incredible powers are shown in action in the comic. The Sith Lord heads for the Mid-Rim Maricula colony of Qatar, where Force-sensitive and Jedi gather. Like Marvel's Galactus are heading to a world to feed on it. So he's drawing comparisons between the two. I've never gotten to like the Galactus and the Marvels, that lore, that franchise and stuff. So if you guys have, just share what you think, like the comparison and stuff with me in the chat, and I will take a look here pretty soon. Darth Nihilus' hunger drew him to the planet in an incredible display of power that frankly makes Darth Vader look weak. It's because of what happened to him and all that, and that he's drawn the Force to stay powerful, stay alive. I guess you could say stay alive, kind of like a vampire, right? It's kind of like a vampire. So very different than Vader, because he didn't go through what Nihilus went through, really. The Sith Lord destroyed the planet Absorbing the Force energy to feed his planet energy to feed his planet in what he could only be described as a massacre. Feed his planet, feed himself. I don't know. And then, so here we go. So here's a picture of the comic here. And when you read Revan 2, it goes back to that as well. Ultimately, his Galactus-like attack leaves Qatar decimated. Darth Nihilus touches down on the world he helped destroy, taking the sole survivor of the attack as his slave. The comic, which while short and now not, it's still canon, sweetheart. It's still canon. Um, and it's still canon to the main Star Wars movies under George's. It's not part of Disney, which I'm very proud of and happy about. Show the pure, untethered hunger of the Sith Lord, and as he became Star Wars' answer to Galactus, destroying an entire planet and killing its entire population by himself is one of the single deadliest actions as a Sith Lord has ever done. It's hard not to be intimidated by the villain. Excuse me. Sorry about that. While Vader has committed himself some horrific atrocities, should be feared, and deserves his place among the Star Wars deadliest villains, Darth Nihilus Galactus-like powers put him in a different category ability-wise to his fellow Sith Lord. Being able to consume an entire planet and feed off the energy, Force energy shows that Star Wars had its own devourer of worlds who was absolutely terrifying, unlike Galactus. And see, they failed to say that the timeline between Nihilus and Vader are basically thousands and thousands of years. Thousands and thousands of years. And we haven't seen one like Nihilus since then. And rightfully so. And I'm glad that we got the story of Nihilus, but I'm also glad it didn't happen again in a sense. Unlike Galactus, the Sith Lord didn't feed in the name of balance, but instead the name of death. Stories like Darth Nihilus' terrifying Star Wars massacre among some of the most frightening tales of the entire Star Wars universe. And so that's what he has to say. So I thought I'd go through this article with you guys. Let me see what you guys have to say about this. Let me go ahead and scroll down here. And it says, Darth Tyra, Lord of Betrayal, capable of changing the hearts of others and inspiring torturous thoughts and deceit in others. Let's see here. More in chat. Nihilus was part of the Sith Triumvirate. Yep. He was a Lord of Hunger. He cared nothing of the Sith or Jedi. His hunger was discriminate. Darth Sion was Lord of Pain, dead but kept alive by his hatred. Right. So there was this was totally something different, never seen before, after the fact as well. So comparing him to Vader in a sense like this, that's thousands and thousands of years prior, doesn't make sense. I think it would kind of hurt the story as well when it comes to like Plagueis and them looking for immortality and stuff. Chris says, isn't Kenobi supposed to be going through his Jedi trials to become a true Jedi in those 19 years before A New Hope? No. Making him a cowardly bitch. No, he wasn't. Kenobi's already gone through his trials. He's a Jedi Master on the Council. That means he's gone through that already. What he needs to train is becoming a Force ghost and also still being strong in the Force to be able to train Luke. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let's see here. Nihilus was an imperfect being. Vitiate was more perfect vision of Nihilus, able to feed and use to fuel his immortality. Yeah, so there's these evolution of Sith alchemy and all of that you see thousands of years before the OT. like thousands and thousands of years. And some of the stuff, some of this wisdom, knowledge of the Sith was lost over time as well. And that's why you have Plagueis. Like this is even before the PT, thousands of years before the PT. Even Plagueis was searching for that. Some of this knowledge was lost, and I think rightfully so because of the fact that the direction that Plagueis and then Palpatine was trying to go, and then seducing Anakin to the dark side. So there you go. And let's see here. Hey everyone. Hey MJ1 Media. Hey everyone. I voted Falleen. If I were in Star Wars, I'd want to be a Falleen. Padme and Leia would not resist me. Hell to King, baby. Hey, how you doing? And Tuska Bob, they're a chain in the Midwest. I think I don't know what you guys are talking about, probably amongst each other. And Stunning and Brave, hello. The Kenobi show looks like a bad fan film. That's what I'm hearing. Oh my God, it's so friggin' sad. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the poll and we're going to close it now. We went over the time frame, but that's okay. It gives everybody a chance to vote. So here we go. Falleen, 32%. Marlon, 24. Duros, 15. And Nogri, 29. So Falleen is the winner. I'm ending the poll now. So the Falleen won with that. So I'm glad you guys participated in the poll. These are characters, like if you don't know the lore outside of the, the Duros are in the OT. But if you don't know some of these species that are not in the movies, I would recommend to go research them. Check them out, you guys. Check them out. There's so much to look into that it's amazing. And let's see, congrats. Let me see what's going on here. I'm doing great. I got a new job and started paid training yesterday. Congratulations to you. That's friggin' amazing. Joseph says, "Damn, I love Nihilus. I love Nihilus. Scares me now, but can I be him? Haha, of course I can't." Yeah, so go ahead and go check out his lore and stuff. Check it out. Check it out. And then hashtag Falleen for the win. Yeah, Falleen. So one of the famous Falleens basically is Seizure, and we see him in Shadows of the Empire multimedia project. And then he's also makes a cameo at the pod race in the Phantom Menace. So there you go. Another EU character that gets put in by George. Orange Hat Review says the reason why many Sith teachings were limited was because of the traitor Darth Gravid, who destroyed much of the Sith knowledge before his apprentice Darth Jean managed to kill him. Yeah, so there, like I said, there was stuff that was lost, and without going into details, but thank you, Orange Hat, for sharing. Thank you for being here as well. And Chaos Man says, speaking of fan film, might as well see the Kenobi fan film by James Costa. Probably what people were more expecting. You know what? DM me if you're on Twitter and send me the link. Or share it here, or I don't know, or send it to Soul Assassin, or I don't know, but share the link. Someone share the link so that we can share it. Falling won. Gijor rigged the vote. Yes, he did. Fun fact, Darth Jean was the first Red Twilight Sith lady, not Darth Talon. Yeah. In fact, I will do a character highlight of her. I always forget about her, but yeah, she was. Yes, Gijor, the guy lay neutered in the comment, or nutted in the comments. I said neutered, but nutted when she kicked him in the nuts. Yes, she did. Speaking of, and I know Greg Tuscan Bob was okay with little Leia. That's fine, but I think she was a brat from what I've seen and heard of her in the Kenobi series. It's like they were trying to keep her same personality at 10 years as she was in her young adult life in 19 or 18 years in the OT. And I think that was kind of off. And I did posted something about that on Twitter. And I used the fact of her hero's journey in Return of the Jedi. Basically, is her mask being uncovered. She's got the mask of the strong-willed, strong woman persona, but she's able to now find love and let that mask off and show off her softness and her feminine side and all that. So, we want to see the evolution of Leia, her character arc from that year, that since they're showing her now, how she got to be so hardened, I guess you can say. And they're failing to do that. They're failing to show that arc. Darth Revan. And then MJ1 says, could you show me image of Caesar cameo in Phantom Menace, please? Never saw that. I could share on Twitter right now. I'm not going to look it up right now, but yeah, he is in the crowd, watching the pod race. So it's very cool. Very, very cool. And then who else is in that? The bounty hunter, what's her name? Aura Singh is in that too, so she's in there too. If Chewie had not interrupted, I have no doubt that Leia would have wound up in Giger's bed going, Han who? Yeah, it kind of suggests that, right? And let's see, she was okay in moments. My complaint is that she's too much like her. Yeah, okay, there you go. I know that you were like, hey, she's pretty cool, but then yeah, that's the thing. She was too much like her 19-year-old self, ruined some moments. Yeah, and I think you said that she would have been better outside of this if she had her own show, from what I remember you stating. So maybe I take back some of the stuff that I thought you said. Sorry. But yeah, so I agree that they try to make her persona like her 19-year-old self, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then her being bratty and running all the time. She should be disciplined to the fact, like they made her the classic white princess, snooty, I will do whatever I want kind of trope, instead of her. And when you look at her in the original lore, she had her moments, because all kids do. She had her moments, but she was always protected by Bail Organa. They made Bail look so fucking weak. They made Alderaan look so fucking weak without protecting her. Why don't they have guards with her? Why isn't she not constantly at least being watched over by the royal guards and stuff, by their defense, because of who she is? Not only because she's basically the Organa royalty, basically, but because of who she is. She's a Skywalker. She's Vader's child. You have to be prepared for the possibility of Vader visiting, someone eventually finding out, or what have you. You need to have her protected and being watched at all time, not with a friggin' stinking droid. That was just BS. And yeah, they made Belle look so fucking weak. That's how I'm just gonna state that. If you mean the blue skin dark Jedi name is Elena Rar. Oh, okay, you guys are talking about that. Elena Rar, yeah, she's coming from the New Jedi Order series and stuff. There's a crazy arc with that, and then Leia eventually becomes a knight by defeating and fighting her in the Darkness trilogy. So that's a very interesting read. So yeah, Leia does become a knight in the original lore. I wasn't referring to him earning the rank of master by Jedi trials. I was specifically that the prequel era were brought up in the broken system where they were that him going into training and stuff is irrelevant to that as well. That had nothing to do with that. Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to get your train of thought here, but that has nothing to do with that either. Yes, please hit the like button. And whoops, this thing jumped on me. Let's see here. I am a Rule of Two fan. I know the lineage very well. Oh, thank you. I need to do a Talking EU. I was trying to schedule one with Callum, but I never got synced my time with him or never followed through with him. So Chris says, I think there are EU stories where Yoda and Obi-Wan are taught themselves how to be true Jedi, so they could be allowed to be Force ghosts. No, there wasn't. It was Qui-Gon that taught them. She's more like Princess Vespa in Spaceballs. Yes, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about like like Spaceballs and how she was, react, or, Princess Vespa or whatever. How can you do Leia not recognize Ben and not care after Vader killed him? Yeah, that's a contradiction right there. It's not really a plot hole or anything, but it's a contradiction. Historically, princes never get out of their golden cages. And then MJ1 says, question, was Zizor around during the Clone Wars? I ask because there was a scene in the Clone Wars where Maul and Savage approaches. Black Sun was, and I think his father was, I think his father was in charge or someone else, I'm not sure, of the organization, but they do live a very, 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 very long time. I think over 100 or 200 years. I'm just guessing off the head. I haven't looked that up in a while, but they do live a very long time. But in the Clone Wars, Filoni's Clone Wars, yeah, no, thank you. How can Leia not remember Ben? Oh, I already read that one. OG sent you the picture of Zizor in episode. Okay, let me go pull that up real quick. And then we'll get into the followers of Palawa, the Force Sensitive Society that we're going to discuss. So let's see here. But I'm going to go ahead and open this image up here. And thank you so much, Soul Assassin, so that I can show, since that was requested. And let me go ahead and share screen. Like I said, I wish there was an easier way to share screen that's quick and simple. There we go. Now here you go. So you see Prince Zizor right here coming down the stairs. There you go. So yeah, him and Aura Singh made cameos. So basically Easter eggs in that, and you could tell that he did the stop motion, and he used he had figures and stuff like that for his. If you would have seen his display for the pod race and how he made it happen, it's amazing. It's freaking amazing. Very cool. Let me see here. You guys are talking about Darth Vader. Not going to rewatch the previous episodes, but I bet if you clock the amount of time Kenobi spends with Leia, it's far exceeds the time he spent with Luke. Ooh, good point. Good point. It was Prince Zizor as his title in Shadows of the Empire in the Clone Wars. Like I said, I haven't rewatched that in a long time. So some of the stuff now is vague. Let's see here. No offense, but if this looks like mock-up, not an actual scene. No, it's an actual scene. It's an actual scene from the display. What George did, people say, oh, he only did all CGI. No, he didn't. He still had his stop motion. He still had his figures, all of that. All of that. So yeah. Let's see here. And okay, so let's go ahead and get into this Force Society. I was going to share a picture of what they look like, but they don't have, there was no artistic images made of them for the lore. So I'm sorry I can't share with you guys what they look like, kind of like a show and tell, I guess you can say. So how many of you guys are aware of the Force Societies other than Jedi and Sith? Let me know. And this might be new to you guys, and that's fine. I love it because we are learning. Fix my avatar. OG Star Wars. What? This is what? What are you talking about? Fix my avatar. My avatar. What do you want me to fix it to? What should I fix it to? This is a Star Wars character, but what should I fix it to? Greg, I'm curious. I am curious. And let's see here. People say we haven't seen Vader is brutal. I think Dark Times comics show how truly ruthless and scary Vader was. Why after his death he is still feared. Yeah, I think they did a good job in the original lore with that. And then George did Grievous dirty in episode 3. Oh, I'm a white ball of nothing? Really? Because it's showing that I am okay right here. Wow. And I'm not having any internet mishaps on my end. Hello? Hello, hello. Can you see something else? I don't know what's going on. It's strange. It's been crazy. It's like ever since we had a windstorm and stuff going on here, um, my internet has been weird. So hopefully it's fixed. I try to go through. Okay, now I'm good. Okay. I think it was said that they just used the toy of Jijor and doesn't count as an official appearance. No, it's official appearance. Um, if they used his toy, it's official appearance. Yeah, just like or Sting, they had the actress in there too, an actress for that as well. All right, Batu, gotta go to work or gotta go work calling. See you next time, fellow EU rebels. Yes. Just see a white circle, maybe. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's the white dot is back. I'm sorry, you guys. Well, at least you guys can see me, and this is weird. Yeah. This I'm a white dot now. I was accused about being a white supremacist too. What the hell? There we go. That is following me around. Um, Damn that their wind internet. Let's see here. Let me go with me as Jan Ors. There we go. Hopefully, it might have to keep switching or just let the white dot come back. Is the white supremacist hacking the stream? I guess so. And then Phil, hello. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Maybe it's your StreamYard's service or internet connection. It might be. StreamYards can be quite. OG Stars is white confirmed. Orange hat. It would make sense if he was there. Zijor was acquainted with Jabba. Correct. He worked with Jabba. So him being on Tatooine isn't a stretch. Makes sense, even as they are both crime lords. Yes, that's true. So powerful and amazing woman. Thank you guys. All right. So I guess it's gonna just keep messing up, but as long as you can hear me, we are good. We are good. All right. So the followers of Palawa. Now, like I said, I wish I had an image to share with you guys, and I'm so sorry that I don't, so you guys can have a bigger picture. But again, how many of you guys know of different Force societies? And if you heard of the followers of Palawa, please let me know. I know they were in some games as well. And these guys go all the way back into the Old Republic. And so they have history there as well. And we'll get into that. And let's see what Soul Assassin has to say. Fun fact, OG took Talon Card's jacket. It's really nice. Yep. Let's see here. You're good now. I guess I'm supposed to be Jan Orris today, maybe? All right. OG Stars, I admit, I haven't streamed with StreamYard in a while. I mostly use OBS with my fancy overlays. I need to learn how to do OBS and all of that and check that out. So yeah. And then card, yeah. Force societies like the retards in Rogue One? Nope, we're not. Oh, and I forgot to say this. Okay, so Abu Nas told me that he'll be celebrating Rogue One because I guess today's the anniversary of it. And I gotta say, I'm so sorry. I know it's a day of mourning, and I wish you the best, and I can send you some tissues. I can truly send you some tissues. You know, this is such a sad occasion. You know, the Dark Forces is way much better, very much so. Better continuity, better characters. You are praising a whitewashed Jan Ors. So congratulations, you racist. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so sorry that you're in mourning today. I wish you the best, Abu Nas, you know, and hopefully you can get past this morning and move on. All right. So there we go. Orange Hat reviews. Didn't know of the followers of Palawa, but I know of some other societies. Okay. And then it's jumping on me. You guys are just jamming in here. Yeah, it may be an internet issue. Probably. followers of the Palawa sound familiar, but Janissaries have my attention. Yeah, we'll be going into Janissaries here soon. I want to go through all the 4 societies throughout this coffee chat, talk news, talk Star Wars lore, have fun, but also, get into these 4 societies and learn other 4 societies other than Jedi and Sith. Can you send me tissues? Damn. I can. All those who are celebrating the anniversary of Rogue One, I'm so sorry for your mourning. I'm so sorry. There's much better. And just by coming here shows that you're getting rehab from it. So thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Rehab can be tough, going through and dropping those addictions. So thank you for coming to OG Star Wars channel for your rehab. Dark Forces basically is a true version. And so your rehab has started. Your rehab has started. Thank you for being here. And if you want to share any of your trials and tribulations with going through these addictions with Disney content, please share with me here. We can talk you through this. We can walk you through this. We are here for you. We got you. Okay, Tuscan Bob says, I think he already has tissues by his side when he watches your streams. Oh my God. I am not going there. I am not going there. All right, Phil, or maybe StreamYards is sexist. They can't handle a beautiful, strong woman using their platform. Maybe they are working for Lucasfilm, laugh out loud, probably. And then Zai-san Shah, Barandos, Matukai. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, so we'll be going through all of them. Yeah, we'll be going through all of them. All right, Phil says, if I was Lando Calrissian when I would say, okay, I need to calm down. Slow my roll. If I was Lando Calrissian, then I would say at OG Star Wars, you're the only addiction I don't mind starting. Wow, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Tessica Bob, laugh out loud. Yeah, I could hear your evil laugh. I know your laugh already. I can hear it in my head. I can hear that conniving laugh in my head, Greg. I can. All right, so let's get into this. We kind of strayed too much from the topic. I'm glad I'm entertaining all of you guys. That's what this is about. And let me see here. Let's see. I really need for collecting modern Star Wars toys. I justify it by saying, oh, it's the OT and PT characters EU, and the 3D face scan accurate head appeals to me. Oh, see, there you go. Confess. That's the best way of getting through it, is by sharing. Sharing is caring. Sharing helps you heal. Thank you so much. We are here for you here at Rehab here to get out of the obsession of Disney Star Wars. Welcome to OG's channel. Thank you for coming. Thank you for starting your rehab. Now, speaking of rehab, let's go ahead and get into the lore. Let's go get into the followers of the Palawa. So basically, they're a secret group of on the planet called Bandukai, located in the Pecanth Reach. I think I said that wrong. I do pronounce some of these Star Wars names wrong, and I think we all have in our lives of going through the lore. And the followers of the Palawa, they are an ancient group of force users who may have predate the Jedi Order. So it's very interesting. There are some force societies that do. There are some force societies that formed after the fall of the Jedi from the Purge, and Luke discovers them. It's like a group of Jedi that basically start forming their own society, their own cult, or whatever you want to call them. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm glad to entertain you right here. Yes. Van Dookie sounds like OG Star Wars has Amber Heard. Oh my God. No. All right. So it's like Bandukai. I just read it wrong. Bandukai, you guys. Bandukai. And I should have pulled up the Star Wars Galaxy map. And so I will do that next time. I will have that all on a little PowerPoint for you guys. So I'll do better. I will do better. Count Dookie. Oh boy. Let's see here. I'll admit, OG Stars, when you say Doku, I get mad just being honest. I don't hate you for it, but Doku, why? Doku, Doku. Are you falling to the dark side now, Joseph? Or who? No, was it Joseph that said that? Yeah. Um, yeah. Are you falling to the dark side? Doku. All right. Tuscan says, every time you want to buy a new toy, just imagine Ryan Johnson, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, JJ, and Pablo Hidalgo rolling around naked on the bed full of your money. Ooh. Doku. I say Doku, but Doku. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and get away from that Dookie kind of conversation here. All right, so the Palawas were basically from the planet Palawa, and basically it was destroyed by in war, and it has been documented, but this documentation kind of looks like it was vague. But within that war, um, it looked like the Jedi Order of the time was involved and helped destroy the planet, or was one of like contribute to the destruction of the planet. And so from that, they went and found and settled on the planet Bandukai. I was gonna go there again, Bandukai, and that's where they settled on. And like I said, I should have, I wish I would have brought the planet and stuff like that. I just didn't. I was doing other things. Yeah. But next time I'll be better prepared. I promise. And they studied the force and science behind the midichlorians. So here we go. We're getting into the midichlorians. Now, how many of you guys really don't care for the midichlorians? How many of you guys are like, hey, it's pretty cool. It just kind of gives us the science on how the force works in a species, in a being. So let me know. Let me know. Dooku. Oh dear Lord, Soul Assassin. I guess that's conversations too late. All right, too late. Yeah. So midichlorians. They studied the science behind the Medis. Oh my gosh, at OG Stars, you call yourself a Star Wars fan and can't say that name? Laugh my ass off. Just kidding. You know what? Like, I still remember this. It was like a couple years ago. And I misspelled something, and it was something from the EU. And you know me with my spelling anyways, because I mostly work on my phone, and my phone is shit with the keyboard. It's like, and then Twitter is shit because I don't have an edit button, and it's like, should I delete this or should I redo this? Delete it, redo it. What should I do? But anyways, so I misspelled, and I don't remember exactly what I misspelled, but someone basically says, and you call yourself a EU specialist, and they were just like really like, you don't know nothing about Star Wars, and blah blah, and they're really hacking on me, or really going into that bullshit narrative because I just friggin' misspelled a Star Wars name, and I forgot what the name was and stuff. So that's kind of funny. Let's see here. Yeah. So midichlorians is life, love, and awesomeness. Lafla. I don't mind their introduction. Let's see here. Yes, thank you so much. Check out my merch. Hello, Magnino, Alex too, and hello. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. MJ1, I don't mind the midichlorians, but I feel they are Star Wars version of Dragon Ball Z's power levels. I wouldn't say like power levels in the sense. It's just how much. I mean, I guess you could say you can relate it in a sense. I know some about Dragon Ball Z, but it just shares how the force works through the body, or through the being's body, and their aptitude that they have with it. So we'll go ahead and go on here. They are also the master of the deep trance, enabling them to sleep for decades without aging. So they also matter that's a technique of a deep trance, enabling to sleep through decades without aging. So it's kind of interesting. And like I said, I wish that I had images to share with you of what they look like. They first appeared in the Shadows of the Empire source book. That's when they were first mentioned. They didn't have any art on them. And I do have the Shadows of the Empire source book. And I love that thing. I love it. They also were developed the martial arts called Taras Kasi and or Kasai, Taras Kasai, meaning steel hand, and to combat the Jedi. And then the records share most of the followers fell to the dark side as well. And their master of the Terrace Kasai was Arden Lin, and so I think she was in a game, I believe, one of the games, and I don't know. I know that they said that I think there was a game they were in. That's why I was looking for images, but there's no images I can find. So, but their first mention was in Empire, the source book of the Shadows of the Empire, and it's very interesting. And the Terrace Kasai sounds very interesting kind of technique. And I guess their focus basically was to, defeat the Jedi, fight the Jedi, which, we know how the Jedi handle themselves and stuff and what they're capable of. So that would have been interesting to see this kind of Force society fighting the Jedi with their masterful arts of the Terras Kasi, and how that would be effective against the Jedi. Let me see here. Star Wars, Master of Terras Kasai, great game in my honest. Yeah, there you go. That's the name of it. And I didn't write that down. There, yeah. So that's very interesting. You're right. Thank you. The midichlorians felt so Scientology inspired, especially when they checked through blood testing and meter readings. I don't know. I never seen it that way, but I mean, hey, that's fair. Star Wars. Oh yeah, you already. And let's see, Cody, hello. Well, it's what George Lucas created, has nothing to do with DBZ. Let's see here. They tested Jedi since Luke's Academy. They tested Jedi since Luke's Academy. It's not an issue in the prequels. I like when Luke was still trying to find a way to check a Force user's ability, and he went into, he used his sister as an example, and how she instinctively force shoved him out of her mind. What that was that in Dark Fleet? I forgot what series that was in, but it just goes to show, Leia's Force adept to having a steady mind, I guess you can say, and not being able to overcome manipulation and stuff. And that goes with her in A New Hope. So that was pretty interesting. I like that. When I heard midichlorians, I didn't think anything of it, and now still don't after hearing George's explanation that they're basically like a mitochondria, the living personal force, I think. Yeah, he kind of like went into the mitochondria thing, kind of describing what that is in the body. And it just helps the body harness the force, it makes them force adept. And depending on like your midichlorian count, and he also said like they're little microscopic beings as well living inside the body, like very, 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 very tiny, like midichlorians or mitochondria and stuff. So very interesting on what he went with that. And he wanted to make basically his quote unquote sequel trilogies about the wheels of the Force. That goes into that. But he was afraid. He's always been afraid of how fans were going to perceive his movies. Even all the Star Wars movies that he's made, he was always fearful about how the audience was going to perceive his show. So he always had that doubt behind his head. And so when he talked about the midichlorians and making the wheels as the sequel trilogy, and really didn't have nothing to do with the Skywalker story, I guess you could say, if you want to quote it that way, but more or less the midichlorians, the history of the Force, he was afraid that it wasn't going to be well received. And I think that would have been interesting, but I like dirty shit like that, so I would have seen it to see exactly what he was coming up with and what the midichlorians and how it made the Force made life possible in the universe. Hard looking for Palawa images, not much, but for Filoni characters and art. Yeah, I think it was mistake to introduce them. They could have gone a different route to gauge a person's Force potential. That said, it's a minor issue That was overblown. Correct. I agree. It was overblown. Like people were like, "Oh my god, now the force isn't mysterious." It's still mysterious. It's still mysterious in how people can use different abilities. All it tells is how the force works to the body, but it doesn't explain like the force in depth, how, and it doesn't break the mysterious nature of the force and how each individual is adapt in certain techniques versus other. Like Horn, he can absorb energy and stuff like that and be okay, but he can't use telekinesis. And so I think it's very interesting, like how every force user and even force societies are different, and I like it that way. It keeps it mysterious. It, you don't know. Um, Everybody has their own force adept, force strength, and so it doesn't ruin that whatsoever. It doesn't. So that's all I have on that. This is a small one. We'll go into a larger for society next Thursday, and I'll announce it in Twitter. If you follow me on my YouTube Twitter community, I will announce it there. So go ahead and check that out, and find me there. My main Twitter account will go into more in depth of Star Wars in general, like what's going on today in news, what I think about continuity in the new Star Wars, and what have you, in the conversations with that. The Star Wars YouTube community for that I have mainly is for George Lucas era Star Wars, sharing the lore, conversing between each other about that. Those who are a part of the community, continue to share, lore there, ask questions, communicate, all of that. Yeah, so there's a difference between the two. Magneto says, I just don't see why science and spiritualism is a problem. The Force can still be a mystery while being able to detect scientifically who has the Force. Correct. I'm okay with the midichlorians kind of showed how the Jedi advanced since the Old Republic when Master Vader said they don't understand how the Force works when discussing it about Zane Carrick. Vandor, I said Vader, sorry, Vandor, sorry. I realized that mistake. Huge fan, OG. How's everyone handling the emotional trauma with the deconstruction of Kenobi? I'm laughing about it. Honestly, I'm laughing about it, and I think that kind of sounds cruel, but I'm far like past like, oh, I'm so upset kind of deal. In the beginning, I was upset that they decided to cast aside the EU and not use the original canon established off of the movies. So and I guess everybody has that stage, that the stages of healing to go through, of like being mad, upset, crying, hopeless, all of that. I am at the point, I'm just like watching it go down. Give me my popcorn, I'll watch it go down. Yes, I will discuss the continuity that's broken between the movies and even compare it with the original canon EU, and and their own or I wouldn't say canon, and their own lore, and just laugh about it. That's all you can do. You've got to keep your sanity, you guys. Got to keep your sanity. The original lore is still here for you guys. We're not getting new content, I know, but it's still here for you. There's so much to explore and read. It'll take you a while to go through the whole timeline, and that's the beauty of it. And by the time you finish it, you could start it again or pick and choose which era you want to stay in and revisit. It's always there. It's not gone. It's there for you always. And Joseph says, a while ago I read a Sith had the ability, if you have a wound, he can enter your body. Let's see here. And Tuscan says, the Clone Wars garbage Mortis arc did a way more damage to the mysticism of the Force than midichlorians did. I agree. They have celestial beings, and basically, and this is before Mortis, and these celestial beings also worked through the Force, but they weren't the Force. Now they make it sound like these Mortis, the ones, are the Force, like embodiment of the Force. And I really fully didn't agree with it. And then when the Fate of the Jedi brought in that arc a bit with Abeloth, and how she's the bringer of chaos. So it's almost like they're forced gods in a sense. That was an okay story. I still like the series. I still like what they were trying to do with that, and how they were trying, but they did retcon some of the stuff when it came to Mortis. So I wasn't too upset with that part. Magnino says, I would hate on Mortis Bob, but it gave us Abeloth. Oh, okay. Bob made it in the mix there, so I forgive it. They were retconning some of it too in that series. And if Karen Travis didn't leave, I believe she would have been a part of the Fate of the Jedi authors. And I think she really did exceptionally well in the Legacy of the Force. Let's see what you have to say here. All right. Though I wish she was more threatening than she ended up being. It was, yeah. Well, one day we'll talk about Abeloth. Let's see here. Having a godlike a monster entity is the one time you're allowed to go bigger than New Jedi Order, but it wasn't. Interesting take. Okay. Jackson says, but Luke also found a midichlorian-like reader as well, he gave it to Lando. I think so. I agree, OG. Nothing can hurt me the way the EU being discarded did. I am taking Kenobi as a satire comedy show like Spaceballs. I think Spaceballs is much better, honestly. Is my comment coming through? Did I skip over anything? Did you catch my comment on midichlorians? If I didn't, did I pass it up? It just happens when I read and what have you. And I don't see it. See here. I don't see it. Sorry about that. I know sometimes shit happens. But I don't see it. I'm sorry. Nope, it didn't come through. That post I first shared and this one, there's nothing in between. If it's showing on your guys' end, let me know. Sometimes crazy stuff happens. And yeah. There we go. Yeah, I don't see it. See, this is the first one. Then I'm scrolling all the way down to your last one when you asked me. And here it is again. So sorry about that, sir. Not ignoring, not skipping over or anything. I try to get everybody's comments as I can. If I skip over, sorry. But with MJ1, it didn't come through. Yeah, I'll try again. Yeah, so just try again. If you don't first succeed, try again, right? Do or do not. There is no try. Okay. Heading out, OG Star Wars. Take care. Happy Star Wars, even though it's shit. Wait. Yeah. And again, today is supposed to be anniversary of the mock-up of Dark Forces. So thank you guys who are coming in here for rehab. And I guess there's a reason why my Jan Ors needed to be up here, right? And Abu Nas, if you're watching, thank you for tuning into your rehab. And hopefully one day you will get over it and you will heal and you'll walk past torturing yourself, self-infliction that you are creating for yourself. All right, MJ1. At the end of the day, midichlorians determine how much plot armor a character has. I don't think so. I never seen it that way. And it was never used that way because, like I said, every Jedi had a different ability. Like for example, Corran Horn. So yeah, and I don't think it's ever been a tool like that. All right, you guys. So we're coming up on 2 hours, and thank you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think about that Force Society, the Palawas, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the list right now. Maybe since it was mentioned, we'll go into Janissary. That's a huge one, which means much attention will need to be brought to it. So Janissary, we'll go ahead and do that. And discuss them. And of course, any news that comes out or any other thing that I feel like we want to discuss lore-wise, stay tuned for that as well. As for the Kenobi series, if you're watching it, fine, enjoy. Discuss with me in Twitter, DM me, let me know what you guys think about it. I'm not watching it, but I like to compare and contrast. I like to compare the Kenobi and the Disney lore versus the true authentic Kenobi that George and his company gave us. And I try to be fair about it, but people are like, oh, you're so negative. You're always looking for the bad. No, it's the new creators that are doing an awful job. I'm not. I'm just reporting it. I'm just comparing and contrast and reporting the difference between the two. Like if I get into the lore and to some of the books, you'll hear me like hash out about them and talk about what is good and bad in the original EU. But so don't blame me for like being too negative when it's basically the creators that are creating shit. Yeah. And so that's my statement there. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you, Abanas, again for the super chat. I do have the super, I forget what the hell it's called, where you can leave me a message, like a super comment. I don't know what the hell it's called. But like if you go back and you read one of my videos, you can leave me a super something where it's like a super chat, but you're leaving me a comment. You could do that. I don't know what it's brand new to me. I don't know what it's called, but you can leave a comment like a super chat on a regular video. And so if you do, I appreciate that. Appreciate everything that you guys do coming in the chat and spending time with me in coffee chat, going through the lore, laughing about crazy news, all of that. Yeah, so thank you guys again. Soul Assassin says the raging reviews are the best part of the Kenobi. Laugh out loud, right? Still haven't watched it. Probably binge watched the 3 episodes in one go. Well, good luck to you, sir. I wish you luck. Soul Assassin, please hit the like button. Yes. Please hit the like button. Super thanks. Okay, thank you. Super. I'm like, I don't know what the hell it's called. Super comment, super thanks. I don't know. But yeah, super thanks. So I do have that activated now. So if you guys want to contribute to the channel that way, I need a new speaker system. I'm thinking about getting a new camera. So I have another angle of camera so that I can do, and they're not going to be scheduled, but I want to do sessions of me working on my art and chatting with you guys. So art chat sessions like I did when I was working and cleaning up those paintings for print. Yeah, those were fun. And those are very spontaneous. The chat basically made up the topics and we went for it and had fun. And I also explained, some art techniques and stuff like that. So they're very fun, very casual and kind of relaxing too, and not worrying having to put together a production like I do for coffee chat. So I'm thinking about that. So every bit helps. Every super chat helps as well. Becoming a channel member and subscribing to the channel like that as a member helps. If you can't afford it, that's fine too. No shame in there. I'm just saying it just helps. You're being here and supporting me in the chat helps a lot too, and keeping the channel going. So thank you guys so much. And thank you guys again for tuning in, and you guys have a great day. And I think I forgot what I'm going to work on. So stay tuned for 2 videos. I have like so many in mind right now and written out with ideas and stuff. So stay tuned for some new videos on small videos of compare and contrast with Kenobi show. Like I said, I have a huge list that I want to do. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for EU Shorts, and may the Force be with you, and talk to you guys later.
Another happy landing.